Today, I'm taking a step back and bringing in a new, fresh perspective on one of the most controversial pre-workouts on the market, Doomsday Hardcore. Meet Jasper, a hardcore fitness enthusiast who's put this pre-workout to the ultimate test. There's one surprising effect that this pre-workout has that may leave you changing the way you think about this product. Let's discuss what that is. Without any further ado, please welcome Jasper and let's hear what he has to say about Doomsday Hardcore. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Jasper, and the comments you just saw were only a very few of the reactions on my latest review of the new Doomsday Hardcore pre-workout, which was finally released on May 31st, 2024. With these reactions being way better than I could have ever imagined, I decided to take it one step further and make this video version of it, with Nader being kind enough to feature my review on his channel FitFrek. So why is this specific product getting so much attention while being also met with tons of skepticism? Let's dive right in. Before we start, here's a little disclaimer up front. Even though you can clearly tell that I'm a huge fan of this specific product line, I have absolutely no affiliations, neither with Predator Nutrition, Imperial Nutrition, or Leviathan Labs, or any other supplement company at all. And every single company and or product being mentioned in this video is for the solely purpose of reviewing Doomsday Hardcore. Speaking of which, with Doomsday Hardcore being the successor to the original Doomsday, many people out there are highly skeptical what to expect due to the controversy surrounding original Doomsday's initial release back in 2023, which still seemed to split its users into kind of two camps even until today, with about 50% of its users consisting of people who really love it, and the other 50% either hating it or even going as far as calling it a scam. And this is simply for the fact that even being very much hyped back then, for some people it literally just didn't work. And so these people called it a scam because of the combination of a high entry price point and it literally doing nothing for them. For Doomsday Hardcore, even after being on the market for 2 months now, not a single similar report has been seen on the usual suspects of forums and social media platforms. So I think we can hopefully take that as some sort of verification that there are no similar issues with Doomsday Hardcore. And with that now being out of the way, let's take a look at the actual product. The container is the very same black top we already know from the original Doomsday, with the only real difference being the label now being adjusted to the new name and, of course, the slightly altered list of ingredients. Doomsday Hardcore is being sold nearly exclusively by Predator Nutrition, with only very few other shops being allowed to resell it. Being initially introduced to the market for a price of 84 British pounds, it's been decreased to now 79 pounds, which roughly converts to about $100 for 30 servings per tub, converting to about $3.30 per serving, with orange whip being the only flavor available. Looking at the advertised effects, we can clearly see that the main facts being advertised are the long-lasting effect, a laser sharp focus, as well as an increased pump, all of that so you're able to move beyond your own limitations when working out due to what Predator Nutrition calls a unique pre-workout experience. Now, if we take a look at the actual label, we can see that the list of ingredients is nearly identical to OG Doomsday, with only one ingredient missing, which happens to be the Bohemio Por Puria, and the still proprietary blend now being called Hypernova Energy Blend, and an increased serving size from originally 5.5 gram up to now 5.6 gram. Since Doomsday Hardcore has always been advertised as a stronger version of Doomsday, all of that is not that big of a surprise. The serving size clearly indicates that we are dealing with what I would call a small-sized stim bomb, and a list of ingredients that are very promising for a great focus, but may leave you head-scratching if you are searching for pump-enhancing ingredients, especially with the serving size being too small for any pump enhancement to come in a clinical working dosage. Taking a look at the powder itself, we do see the same very granular structure already known from our original Doomsday and of course Excelsior, but now featuring an orange and whitish powder and including cloudy little crystals, which are known from Excelsior, but were missing in the powder of the original Doomsday. The powder resolves absolutely perfect in water, and without any exaggeration, in my humble opinion, Doomsday Hardcore is the very best tasting pre-workout on the market at the moment, without any sort of chemical aftertaste and a simply gorgeous orange taste, which by the way tastes even better if being served on ice. An urgent feeling to work out, a tremendous and really laser-sharp focus, an astonishing increment in mind-muscle connection, all of that rounded up with a slight mood elevation, a calm feeling overall, sprinkled with a bit of aggression, and in the end with no big sleep issues and no crashes. This is the package you get from Doomsday Hardcore in terms of mental effects, and if you took a look at the label a few minutes earlier, this is actually what one would expect according to these ingredients. You simply just do not want to leave the gym, you want to go on forever, and you feel like you can go forever, and you can go on really, really long. And while you have this urge to work out, the focus actually narrows down your field of vision, making you way less vulnerable to any sort of distraction, but fortunately never ending in any sort of uncomfortable tunnel vision. You still keep your peripheral view. What really shines here is the increment in mind-muscle connection, which sometimes it even feels like you can kind of see your single muscle fibers contracting. And from my personal experience, this especially benefits you when you're going not for heavy weight reps, but for exercises where you do not necessarily need that much weight, but go for slow but kind of technique perfected repetitions. All of that is accompanied by a slight mood elevation, but do not expect too much. And overall a calm feeling, a present feeling, sometimes sprinkled with a little bit of aggression. And in the end, once the day ends, you can expect no big interference or issues with sleeping, as long as you do not take Doomsday Hardcore less than 4 hours before going to bed. And what needs to be mentioned as well is that there are simply no crashes. Reduced fatigue and way less need for rest, an overall energetic feeling, a big time increment in strength and overall strength endurance and endurance as well, and all of that without any sort of spikes in heart rate elevation. This is actually a very unique combination for a high-stim pre-workout, because you can work out longer with more intensity. You do not have to worry about these spikes, which may make you uncomfortable, but at the same time, a few things needs to be emphasized. And these things are, as mentioned earlier when talking about the label, you simply need to stack Doomsday Hardcore with any sort of ingredients or whole formulas if you wish for any sort of enhancement in pumps. It misses those ingredients, and because of that, obviously you do not get any sort of pump enhancement besides that which comes from the workout itself, obviously. Another thing which needs to be emphasized is the fact that you do get more energetic and stronger and get more strength while working out, but you will simply not go full Saiyan mode and suddenly lift a ton more of weight per rep. This increment in strength actually is over time and in general, not in terms of what I would call max peak performance strength. Overall, the feeling to the body is very unique because you do not get this short-time surge in power and energy, which we know from other very potent high-stim pre-workouts like Crack Purple or Wildfire or Hyper Maxed Out or anything else, which gives you this short-time surge of energy and this feeling that you can lift any weight in the world. Doomsday Hardcore in that term is way more subtle and literally or kind of lets you feel like you can go on infinitely. Of course you can't, but it makes you feel like, and you can go on very, very long in terms of training and working out. Another little detail I would like to involve is the fact that this, again, unique combination, and especially with this different approach in terms of strength and endurance, makes Doomsday Hardcore not only viable for all kinds of weightlifting or cardiovascular exercises, but also, and maybe even especially, for high-intensity sessions, including high-intensity interval training, where you are simply using your body weight, which are quite famous, especially if you're, for example, going on vacation without any sort of gym available, or if you're doing those simply for the reasons of cutting, getting ready for summer, for example. Now, with all these single points being put out, where does this lead to? And to begin my conclusion, I would like to remind you about the image I showed earlier in the video from the Predator Nutrition homepage, which showed the advertised effects you can expect from Doomsday Hardcore, mentioning a point which reads unique pre-workout experience. In my opinion, this hits the nail on the head, so to say, 100%. From all the high-stim pre-workouts I've tested in the past and compared and talked about with others, I simply cannot put Doomsday Hardcore above or beneath most, if not any of those. And to make it clear, from my point of view, Doomsday Hardcore is an alternative and an extension of variants and possibilities, but at no point it is any sort of replacement, neither for Excelsior, neither for Wildfire, Crack Purple, or Crack Primal, or any sort of crack, Hyper Maxed Out, any other things, God of Rage, or all of these DMHA, DMAA based ones, and especially not the Alpha U Bind based ones, simply because those again feel completely different. It's an alternative. You do not get this incredible surge of energy which lasts for 2, 3, maybe 4 hours and lets you lift nearly any kind of weight and makes you feel indestructible and undefeatable. But it lets you go on and on and on, and you want and can work out for feels like infinitely. All of that while it does not leave you drained out after the workout. You can use the energy and the focus for house chores or just simply going to work, especially if you have a what I would call white collar jobs where you are using your head and mental abilities most of the time. But this unique combination of not giving you this short impulsive surge, but as mentioned earlier, a long-lasting amount of energy you can utilize over a long period of time and while working out with a higher amount of intensity. This is where Doomsday Hardcore shines. But of course, if you are in search for a pre-workout which gives you this incredible energy surge, you will be disappointed. I would like to call Doomsday Hardcore a product of its sums. So if you evaluate these single points, and I really recommend to do so, and look if the package you get from Doomsday Hardcore in terms of these single points fits your needs and preferences absolutely perfectly, because otherwise it simply may be too expensive. If you are searching for a pre-workout that gives you either this little or short-term surge in energy, or for example this survival mode feeling, cold sweats, your heart beating as brutal as you're feeling it may exit your chest in a few seconds, you simply do not get that, and because of that you will simply be disappointed, and I can highly suggest to not buy it. Now, one thing I really want to once more emphasize at this point is the fact that while some may already be kind of disappointed because according to my words and what I've said in the past few minutes, you do not get this, let's call it, feeling like a god in the gym with Doomsday Hardcore, because you do not get this power surge and all of that. And this might sound as a okay, but kind of weak pre-workout. No, absolutely not. This is not the case. The amount of strength and energy you get is really, really powerful. But one of the main differences, and there I can't help myself, but I have to owe that to Predator Nutrition. This is where their advertisements are astonishing accurate, talking about the unique pre-workout experience, and even this mysterious ad where someone grants you a huge amount of power in a sprinkle of dust, referencing the powder. You do get this amount of power, of strength and endurance and all of that, but while other pre-workouts, once you take them and once they kick in, you have this feeling, I am at this moment, I have the power, the additional benefits of a pre-workout. I have this at my disposal now for a certain period of time. And with Doomsday Hardcore, this specific feeling just is simply missing, and you do not realize how much sets you're doing, how much more reps you're doing, that you are doing more weight, that you are training harder and more intense and are sweating more, or even after the workout that you are still dialed in, have this brutal focus and doing, and let's call it simply get shit done, until a certain moment where you get out of the zone for a moment and realize, oh, fuck. Sorry, I can't help myself, but this is one of the main differences. And this is actually what I sometimes funnily would call the superpower, the secret superpower of Doomsday Hardcore. I mean, you have seen me throwing around all the superlatives in the rest of the video, and this is actually accurate, and all of this being accompanied being accompanied by, and some of you may have waited for this statement, by this very famous illicit feeling known from Excelsior. But in the end, I would recommend anyone who likes high-stim pre-workouts to at least give it a try. Give it a try, go to Predator Nutrition, buy an official sample, go to Rescue and they have samples. Ask a friend who already bought a tub if some of you are happy to know these people, and ask for a sample. Give it a try, because even though it's not the new go-to pre-workout for you, it in any case is such a unique and interesting experience you shouldn't miss out, in my opinion. And with all of that being said, I really hope this video helps you making a decision if Doomsday Hardcore may be one of the new choices and extensions to your stash. Thank you for taking your time and watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you could gather at least some bits of information so you can make a better decision if Doomsday Hardcore is worth a shot, and if you want to try it or already are convinced that it is the right pre-workout for you. So thanks for your time. Thanks for any honest feedback and comment. Please like the video, comment and subscribe.